All right, so fight talk number 5. I'm joined with Mathias. Mathias, your last name actually is, how do I say it?
Hey guys, yeah, my last name is Gallo Cassarino. It's a double last name, so it's
That's
made
the
of
one.
2 words.
And
Yeah.
it's your gym name in Thailand, seven Muay Thai Gym, yeah. So Mathias
Yes,
7 Muay Thai.
7 Muay Thai Gym, which is the gym, the name of my gym, obviously. Yeah.
So that's actually something I wanted to talk about anyway. Is 7 Muay
Yeah.
Thai Gym? Is that actually your own gym?
Yeah.
You own it?
It's me, my dad, and at first a few other guys, which then split, went back to Italy for various reasons. But yeah, now it's me and my dad, and now my girlfriend as well. She's helping out. So yeah, it's our gym.
Oh, wicked, man, wicked. So that is one of the things I wanted to say is I actually remember seeing you in Thailand. I mean, you've been there for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you. I was actually it was the first time I ever went to Pechandi when it was above the old twin shop in Lumpini.
Uh-huh.
And I remember seeing you in the twin shop, and I'd followed you on Facebook and stuff like that. And I was always a fan because you always were in good fights from a young age.
Thank you.
But I wanted to talk about how comes you've stayed in Thailand, because for someone like me, I've done trips, I've done like 7 months, 8 months, 6 months, but I've never been able to, it's always been hard for me to kind of stay long term. So I wanted to like kind of know why you've kind of stayed there, and your kind of reasons and your goals kind of thing with staying in Thailand.
Yeah, obviously the fact that I came here with my parents obviously helped a lot in the reason of me being here for a long time, or being able to stay here for a long time, obviously. And yeah, when we made the move, we were pretty serious. So I applied for school. Like the moment I got to Thailand, like a week later, I was in school. I was in international school, and my English was like probably like -10. So yeah. And yeah, we decided to really try out like a real life. So the first year I went to school, I started training everything. And then yeah, we went on from there.
That's a good, I didn't actually know that you did the whole schooling in Thailand and stuff. And that was another thing I was going to ask. I didn't know whether your mum was Thai, or so both parents are Italian.
100% Italian. Yeah, that's correct.
That is a different story to most, to be honest. And
yeah.
So did you train Muay Thai in Italy then? Before that?
Sorry for that. I actually started training in Thailand when I was around 10 years old. And I did train in Italy, but not really like, you know, when you start to train in Thailand, then you go back to Italy and you're like, in Europe, anywhere, I mean, it's not the same, you know what I mean? And I was studying in Italy, obviously I was very young, and Muay Thai wasn't, you know, anything that all my other friends were like excited about. So I was just like, not gonna train in Italy. You know, I was only training like when I came in Thailand on holidays. We used to come on holidays almost every year, I'd say. And yeah, I used to just train here for fun. Actually, at first I didn't even train. Like my dad was training in Thailand when I was like 7 or 8, and I was just playing with the kids. You know what I mean? Like Thai kids were jumping off the ring at the gym, and I was just jumping off with them while my dad was actually training. You know. And then one day I just decided to start kick the bag, you know, like just like, well, I just give it a go, you know. At first I wasn't really excited about it. And then one day I was like, yeah, just try to kick the bag like those other kids are doing. And yeah, that's how it started. Obviously, when I was a bit older, I started training in Italy as well to keep like fit and, you know, to try and like, you know, like make it an actual sport, an actual thing like that I was doing, and not something I was just doing on my time off from school, you know, on my holidays. So yeah, but mostly I train in Thailand, like since the start.
Nice. And again, I was going to say, I see now that, I mean, when I first ever seen you and first started following you, you were young, so I don't think you had a girlfriend at the time. But your girlfriend, again, I've noticed she's Italian as well, yeah?
No, she's half French and half Thai.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I'll say she's more French. Like honestly, in her mind, in her attitude is more French than Thai, but she has Thai blood. Yeah. So yeah, we met in Thailand, obviously, and she also went to the international school, so we had common friends. Yeah, we just she's Thai, but she's not Thai.
So it must help, because the one thing that, like I said, I struggled with sometimes in Thailand, and I have these same conversations with like my friend like Savas, and is missing our families and being away for such a long time from the family, it is really hard. And that is one thing I used to always text my mates when I was in Thailand and go, you guys, like, it'd be so good if you all moved here. Like, it'd be so fun, blah, blah. So like when I see you on like social media and Instagram and stuff, and you got your little family now, you've got a baby with your girlfriend, and you got your dad and your mum beside you. It's really nice to see. And I'm sure that must motivate you to kind of keep training and make this your life in Thailand.
For sure. It's very, very helpful. Obviously, like you said, I see all the guys that come to train at the gym, and they have the same issues that you were talking about. You know, like they obviously miss their families, miss their eventual girlfriends, or so. Yeah, it is hard for someone that, you know, just comes by themselves to stay for a long time. And obviously, I respect the ones that do. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy at all. And yeah, it does motivate me. Like, you know, like obviously when you have someone that cares about you, that always follows your steps and does everything they can to help you, it does motivate you. It's that's for sure, 100%.
Yeah, yes, that's it. Like I said, I see that. I see you with your family, and I thought that's got to really help him kind of motivate you. And another thing is, a lot of foreigners come. So for me, for instance, I'm not from a rich family or anything like that, but when I go to Thailand, I'm still on a budget. I'm basically moving to Thailand, and I'm living like a Thai. I'm probably staying in places that ain't so luxurious. And the same again, I'll bring up Savas. I bring him up because I was alongside him for a long time.
For sure.
And what was the difference? Because you come over with your family. So did you ever experience that side of Thailand where you had to kind of stay in the camp? And did you ever get to experience that, or is it always you've always kind of stayed with your family in a kind of nicer accommodation, if you want?
It was probably one of the most important choices I've ever made, to actually go and live in the camp. Like obviously when I first came to live in Thailand, I was living at home with my parents because I was studying in the morning, like school, and then in the afternoon I was going to train. But then when I finished school, I decided I need to go into a real Muay Thai camp style, you know, like, so I moved to Bangkok. That's when I moved to Sitsompinong, and I was actually living with the fighters. I was living with Bobby, Sitichai, Cam, all the guys. Like, we were like 12 in one room, and yeah, it was bad, but it was really good. Like, it was a really good experience, you know, and I'm really glad I did it, you know. So yeah, I did live that life, and I actually lived in the gym for not that long, like 6 months, and then I was like, okay, I did my experience. Now I need to go and get my own room outside. You know what I mean? And after the first 6 months, I was like, okay, if I'm going to keep doing this sport, if I'm going to like perform, I need my own sleep. I need my own bed to sleep. You know, I need my own shower, my own, like I always say, like the Thais were born like that. You know, they were born in big families, big house. Living like many people in a small house. You know what I mean? Like one toilet for 10 people. But I wasn't born like that. And I'm sure like most Europeans were not born like that. No matter if you come from rich or poor family, like we still, like most people still have a house, you know, their own room and stuff. So yeah, I was like, it was good to try, but then, you know, I need to go back to my comfort zone in order to perform in training and then on the ring, you know what I mean? Because but it was one of the...
Sorry, that is I think it's a vital part. And I actually spoke to Damien Alamos about this, and he said the same, that he stayed in the camp before, but he was going crazy because we're just so different. And even if we try our hardest, like you speak really good Thai, but even when you're better than me anyway, but even when you're trying to kind of fit in with them and do everything that they do, it's so hard. We're just, like you said, born different, and they've got certain ways, and when they do certain things, you're like, man, like I couldn't handle it. I need my own place so badly. And I think it's important for gym managers and stuff to kind of know that, because when I was at Petchandee the last time, me and Savas were staying in the gym, but luckily we had Petchandee have like some like kind of apartment style rooms now.
I've been there when we went shooting for Toyota. I've been to the room. Really nice. Yeah,
it's really nice. But even so, you're still in the gym, you know, like it's like this, without even sounding bad, because it's not obviously the same, but it's similar to kind of like a prison. You're in the gym, you wake up, you train, you go eat in the gym, you go bed in the gym. It's constantly you're in, and that's all you're doing constantly. So at one point when I was there last time, me and Savas were like, we need our own apartment, like maybe just outside of the gym somewhere. And it was a little bit of a problem at start. Well, it wasn't really a problem, but with the owners of the gym, they were like, no, but you're living here as sponsored fighters. And I think then we had to have a big discussion about why we thought it was needed. But it's again, it's hard for them to kind of know where we come from. And even like, I mean, I can see in the background there, your kind of room looks so different to what a Thai room would look like. You know exactly what I mean. We have our own set ways. So yeah, it's just feeling comfortable. And again, like I said, I think it helps with the performance, because sometimes there's a few points in Thailand where I've gone to fights and I've just, probably the one time where I lost and my only KO loss, and I just didn't want to be there. I hated it. I was just sick of everything. I was actually staying in the gym in the bunk bed ties at this point, cold showers, and I wanted to go home. So I think it's a big factor. And again, this is one thing I wanted to talk about is you're known now, like especially now, you've been doing this for a long time, but I'd say last year or two, you kind of resurrected, because you went through a stage where I didn't really hear much of you in the I just saw a cockroach running on your shoulder, I think.
Yeah. The fuck? It's gone. You see, as we were talking about nice houses.
Yeah. That's uncanny.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the proof that this is still a very Thai house. The room just looks tidy because I'm a foreigner, but I can guarantee you it's a Thai house in the middle of freaking nowhere. Trust me.
That's funny. So where was I? Yeah, so I said, look, for you kind of resurrected, because I say it sounds funny that I was saying it like that, but it's true, because I think when I was about when I was about 14, 15, I remember following you, and you were fighting in the stadiums in Lumpini.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, did you go through a stage of fighting more internationally, or like more on like the super shows, if you want? So not just the stadiums. Yeah. Did you you went through that stage, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and then in the last 3 years, maybe even a little bit more, maybe you really pushed for the stadium again. And I wanted to know your kind of reasons, because a lot of people do the opposite. They'll push, like they'll do the stadiums and then they'll go internationally. But you did the stadiums, then you went internationally, but now you've come back to the stadiums again, and now your name's, I mean, really high, and you're probably, I think there's 5 foreigners maybe, and you're always in the mix with the best foreigner in Thailand. So what was your kind of reasoning for that, to go back to the stadiums and push for the stadiums?
Yeah, so at first when I was fighting in the stadium, I was actually fighting for Pechindi Promotions before. Yeah. And when I was in Sitsompinong, and we had, the reason I stopped fighting in the stadium was not because I didn't want to fight in the stadium. We actually had like a problem with the promotion. Like I had to turn down a fight. I can't remember which one exactly, but I was injured, obviously, and I had to turn down a fight. And yeah, they didn't like it because apparently they said it was too late notice or whatever. Yeah, so they just like kind of cut me off from the whole Lumpini. I was fighting. When you're fighting for a promoter, you can't like just hop onto the other one. Like if you're fighting for Pechindi's promotion, you can't just hop to fight for Kiat Pet, you know what I mean, or for Wan Son Chai. Now it's changing a lot. Like you get some top Thai fighters which are doing all the shows, all the promotions, but as a foreigner, and if you're not like Sang Mani, you can't do that. You can't just jump from one guy to the other. Yeah. So yeah, they kind of cut me off from the stadium. So I just decided to go and try the, like you said, the 3-round promotions, like Max Muay Thai, then it was Super Muay Thai, then it was Thai Fight, all those. Like I was lucky enough to fight like on the Max Muay Thai and Thai Fight, but on the really big shows, like back then when they used to have Buakaw and Max Muay Thai. Remember fighting on the one in Khon Kaen. It was Buakaw, Kulabin, Saket Dao, all the big stars in Max Muay Thai. Before they obviously changed the owners. Yeah. And yeah, the reason I got back was because I was fighting in these 3 rounds events. I was fighting a bit in Europe, a bit in Japan, a bit in, around. I was like at the point where I was fighting wherever they called me. I get the call, I train, I go fight, which was cool, but I felt like it wasn't leading anywhere, like it wasn't like fighting one show once and then another show another time. Like it didn't feel like I was building anything. I was like I'm not the, I don't know how to say, like some Thai fighters do that when they get the opportunity to fight overseas, because they obviously their only reason to fight is the paycheck. Their number one reason is the paycheck. My number one reason is to get somewhere, you know what I mean? Obviously I want to get paid for my fights, but my number one reason is not the paycheck, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, I'm getting a bit more money by fighting in Japan, fighting in these 3-round shows, but what am I building? So to make it short, I did my best to try and get back to the Lumpini circuit, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And Petindi was out of the Lumpini circuit. He already moved to Rajnamnan, I think. Yeah. And now the main promoter in Lumpini, it's still today, it's Kiat Pet. So I had a few contacts. I call, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna find you a fight. Yeah. It never came. And one day they call me, is like, replace fight, 64.5 kilos in like 4 days or whatever, 7 days or something, a week. I was like, okay, what do I have to do? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. If that's what it takes to get back in the Lumpini show, in the Lumpini, circuit, I'm going to do it. So yeah, I trained for a week. I was already training, obviously, but I wasn't training for a fight. So I just went and did it, and I won the fight. From there, they called me a few more times, but wasn't really serious. They used to call me again as a replacement. They used to call me like whenever they needed me, but they really didn't care about me. They didn't give a shit, obviously. And one day they called me for a big fight. I was lucky enough to fight on like, I can't remember who was the main event. It was like Lito Wada or like some really, really strong guys. And that was the first fight of the night. It was a Friday. And I lost that fight on points. Very close. I lost it in the clinch. When I get down from the ring, someone like the matchmaker calls me like, hey, come. The big promoter wants to speak with you. It's like, what? Yeah, he wants to speak with you. Okay. I was like, fuck. I'm a very shy person, so I'm like walking like this, like trying to be respectful, going to the big promoters. And then it was a big show. So it was like three promoters. And one of them was Num Noi, obviously. And he called me in. He's like, hey, you come. Like, we knew each other from long, like I've been to his gym like ages ago, like to speak with Damien and stuff, but I never trained there. Yeah, he called me and he's like, you fight very good, blah, blah, blah. And he told me like, I'm sure you don't have enough, you didn't clinch enough for this fight. And I was like, yeah, I clinched, but not that much. You're right. And he's like, oh, next time, if you need clinch partner, you can come and clinch at my gym in Bangkok, or even the one in Phuket. You can just come for clinching. He says, I know you have your own gym. You can just come when you need the help. I was like, okay, thanks very much. And from there it started. And he started managing me and started finding me fights. And yeah, that's how I got back into the fighting seriously in the Lumpini circuit. And that's been, like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And that's another thing that I was going to ask is about Num Noi. I saw that he was managing you. And again, I go back to speaking with Damien. And he said to me that obviously I knew about Kiat Pet Yindi promotions, the two kind of rivals, if you want. But he said in the stadiums for foreigners, he thinks that Kiat Pet side is the way forward to kind of get the foreigners. He gets more opportunity. So Num Noi is a really big factor in a lot of them guys getting the big opportunities. And that's what I noticed that Lobo, Kajaiba, yourself, Rafi, a lot of them are with Num Noi, which is Kiat Pet promotions on that kind of side, yeah. And that's what I was going to say is, have you found it more beneficial being with Num Noi rather and Kiat Pet promotions rather than Pet Chindi? Like, have you found it that it's helped you kind of propel more in the stadiums?
Yes, it definitely did. And I have to say, obviously, back then when I was fighting for Pet Chindi, I didn't have the same level as I have now. Obviously, I didn't have the same experience. But obviously, with the fact that Num Noi likes foreigner, because honestly, I think he just likes foreign fighters.
Yeah.
He's like, like not even Kiat Pet, because Kiat Pet, like I've met like the big boss and his son, like we talk often. They do like us, you know what I mean? But they're not, I don't think they're really big fan of us foreign fighters, you know? So it's really thanks to Pinum that it is pushing us, you know what I mean? And giving us the opportunities. And, but what I see now in Petchindy, like I see Pibot, he's like doing amazing work right now, really. Like I see like with Savas, obviously with you when you were there. And I think I don't know if before he didn't like foreigners, he did, I don't know, but I'm sure now he changed his mind, and I think he's pushing the foreign fighters much more now.
Yeah,
And I think he's one of the best guys in Muay Thai right now that are promoting Muay Thai in Thailand the right way. Like he's doing a lot of things right. Like I follow him on Instagram and everything, and I respect him.
yeah, yeah. No, I think you're right. I think there was never. I don't think they ever disliked foreigners, and probably the same with Kiat Pet. But I know exactly what you mean. Is where it was really new. It wasn't really a big thing that many foreigners was doing well in Thailand. So I think it was, if a foreigner came, it was it's just another foreigner. But then I think with Petchindy, I'm going to say I hope I helped in a way. And Savas, me and Savas, I think were the two main foreigners that maybe changed their mind a lot, because we done everything that the Thais done. And what you were saying earlier about getting a fight in 4 days notice. Okay, do you want to fight? And I've mentioned this before. All I ever said to Pibo was, if he asked me to fight, I say, what weight? I didn't ask who. I don't care. I'll fight, and that's it.
Like you said that time when you broke your hand last fight, it was a short notice, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, like 4 days. 4 days notice. I made weight, broke my hand, and this is the problem with doing stuff like that. Is I took a fight to help their promotion because someone pulled out, and then I broke my hand, and I got paid. I mean, it was one of my worst paydays in Thailand for a long time, and that's why now I've got to really reassess what I want to do in the future, because I broke my hand quite a few times, and it's been a big problem for a long time, and I've spent a lot of money like with operations and surgery and stuff like that. So that's why I watch people like you, Savas, Lobo, Rafi, all of you guys, all of them in the stadium, and my passion, you know yourself, that there's nothing that can beat the atmosphere when the gamblers are going crazy and the corners are going crazy. I miss it so much, but I had to ask myself, is it worth this kind of money? Like, is it worth paying all this surgery money all the time and all the sacrifices, and I've got nothing out of it financially. So, and this is why I really wanted to get people like you on, because we have different kind of lives, as in you have your family in Thailand now, so it is your life now. And that was another thing as well, is the money side of things, going financially, is we've always said mine was never for the money. I never did Muay Thai for money, because I would have chosen a different sport, because we don't get paid a lot.
Yeah. If someone wants to make money, don't do Muay Thai.
Exactly. But I do it for the glory. I wanted to be the first UK fighter to be a stadium champion, or to fight high level in the stadiums. But then it gets to a point, and I'm like, now these big you get other lads that are coming through that have had half or quarter of my experience, and they get signed to like a big promotion like One Championship, and now they're superstars and they're getting paid thousands of dollars. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm 24 now. Like, what I need to think, what do I want? Do you know what I mean? And I think now I've chose to kind of stay in England and fight out of Bad Company Gym with Liam Harrison, Andy Howson, and them guys.
Have you been able to start training? Like, is your hand better? You can train, you can do everything?
So I've been training every day, but I've just not been punching, because I was supposed to get my surgery, but COVID-19 come, and the hospitals have just shut everything down. So I actually, just before coming on to you, I got an email saying that the surgery might be happening in 3 weeks. So hopefully it will get back. But my plan is to, it's so hard. I have this chat. I'm always, and I'm chatting to you now, and I'm like, I want to go back to the stadium so badly and fight. But it's like a drug. It's addictive. But and even watching you with like, when you fought Ronachai, for example, Ronachai is the one where you had the blood everywhere, yeah?
Yeah, I fought him twice actually, but that was the first fight, yeah.
And you won that fight?
I won both of them. Yeah, that fight is really, it's really like one of my best memories, honestly, because 3 weeks earlier, my daughter was born, 3 weeks before that fight.
Oh, nice.
And I actually tried to pull out of that fight. I'll say the truth. When I was in the hospital, when my baby was born, I was like, I'm fighting in like 2.5 weeks. I called Noom and I was like, look, my daughter was just born. I'm not training.
Yeah.
What should we do? And he's like, you can fight. And I'm like, okay, I can fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, I made the fight, and I wasn't well prepared, honestly. I went in there with my heart, and that's it. And yeah, it was a fun fight. Like everybody liked it and stuff, but my dad didn't like it. My team didn't like it. They're like, you're not fighting like that again. You know what I mean? Like, we are not. Our philosophy is not to go in there and like kill each other. You know, it's to try to fight, win, and get hurt less as possible. You know. So me doing that didn't please my family or my team, you know, but it pleased a lot of fans, so it's fine for once.
I've had similar kind of things where I'm the same as you. I want to win and do it in style, and I want to do it again because I've kind of been brought up fighting in Thailand. I want to do it the Thai way and look good doing it. And then I've had a few fights where I've had a few wars, and I'm like, and the people have loved it. And I come out and I win the fights. And I said to my dad, I think it was Ryan Sheehan was the one I got cut on my lip.
Yeah,
I just went crazy in the fight. For some reason, round 1 to 5, I just went absolutely crazy. And I got out of the ring and my dad was like, wow, like that was unbelievable. Like, how did you do that? And I said, I was so pissed off. I was like, I fought like an idiot. Like, why did I fight like that? And he was like, you just had like, everyone on Facebook was saying how it's like one of the fights of the year, like most exciting, but it's not my style. I like to, same as you, I don't really want to be hit so much. I want to do the damage and kind of be defensive and look good. Do you know what I mean? So I get your mindset.
As foreigners, we can only do that until you get to a certain level. When you get to a certain high level, like you can't play chess with the Thais, you know, at the top level. Like you need to go and put it, like bring the fight to them. You know what I mean? Like I always say, like, I wish I could fight female, you know what I mean? I wish I could fight like Tawan Chai, for example.
Yeah.
But like we need like 200 fights more, you know, to be able to fight like that. Yeah. If we want to fight those guys, we need to bring it to them, you know what I mean? Even if it looks bad or it looks ugly or whatever, we need to do it. Like, you know, it's not honestly, I mean, I like the Muay Mat style, like the puncher and low kick style, but honestly, it's not my favorite. It's not what I really would like to do. What I really would like to do is fight technically and, you know, front kick the shit out of them and, you know, left kick and stuff. But we can't do that with everyone. We can with some, but then when you get to a high level, it's like their speed, their timing, you know, their experience is just overwhelming. You know, we just need to bring it on, and that's it.
That is one thing. The Petchendy guys with me always said that they liked that I was kind of female style, like kind of technical, but they always told me you have to punch against the Thais and hit them hard, because if you start hitting them hard, that's when they can kind of lose their rhythm and lose their kind of their game, if you know what I mean. So that is one thing I took from them, that because a lot of people in the UK they talk about the score and you've got a body kick, but boxing in Thailand is a big thing as well. If you're hurting people with punches still, it's still scored highly. And you're an example. You win a lot of fights, and your style, you punch a lot and low kick and stuff like that. So I think you've just got to, in Thailand, you've got to be able to do it all. And another thing that you do so well, I actually commented to you, or maybe DM'd you once, about your clinch. Your clinch is really, for a foreigner, it's really strong, and you can actually clinch with the Thais. I think, what was your last fight? Was it Insi Tong? Not your last fight, but I think it was the fight of Insi Tong, where I don't know, I think you might have lost, but the clinch was just amazing. That you were back and forth and it was really close. And I was really impressed because you really held your own in the clinch against them. And that's one thing that foreigners just can't do. So is that a thing that you do? Your training regime, is it a lot of clinch? Do you do a lot of clinch in your training?
Yeah, it is. And when like I was saying before, when I was fighting in 3 rounds, I wasn't really like training much of the clinching. And when I went back to the 5 rounds in Lumpini, I realized I was like, shit, I need to get back my clinching game. You know what I mean? Because I was doing everything good on the distance, but then in the clinch, I just felt a different level. And then I started like working a lot on the clinch, and I have the opportunity sometimes to clinch with guys like Rafi, you know, and when I go and meet like the other fighter of Num Noi, like we all clinch together. So I get a lot of opportunity to clinch. And that's the main thing I think that helped me the last 2-3 years, you know, because I don't think I've improved much elsewhere, even maybe a little bit, but the thing I improved the most in the last couple of years is really the clinching.
Yeah.
And the like how you said, like you said, the middle kicks and everything is very important. But then when it gets to the third round, fourth round, when the guy's grabbing you, you need to be able to fight back. Otherwise, you're going to lose the fight. No matter how technical you are, no matter how good you punch, how fast you kick, if you can't at least control the clinch, I'm not saying you have to win the clinch, but you have to be able to control the clinch. You're not going to be like, that's what I try to explain to most people that come from Europe. You know what I mean? And they have good hands, good kicks, and they're like, oh, I'm going to kill everyone in Thailand. It's like, nah, man, you're not going to you're going to kill them for 1 round, 2 round. But then what happened when it's like round 3, round 4?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's true. It's really, I mean, I've had a lot of fights in Thailand now, like nowhere near as much as you, but half of my career I've had fights in Thailand and or against Thais. And
I was very impressed when you beat the Rung Narai after he won the Fighter of the Year title. Yeah.
Yeah.
He won it the same year or the year after? What was it?
The year after, I think it was. Yeah. So after I beat him, he went on I think it was 10 or 11 fights he won. Yeah. But that was amazing for me. Like I've always, like I said, I've always done it for the glory. So doing something like that was a big step. And then I got offered to fight Wan Chalong after that as well. So that didn't happen because Top King cancelled or something. But yeah, that was a good year for me. But his going back to the Muay mat style, the punching, I punched him hard and I low kicked him hard because I knew I had to really hurt him from the off because his technique's just too good, his game's too good, and that's all I've done. I kind of chopped his leg a bit, and then systematically I kind of just started doing little different things, and that's how I won the fight. But the hardest fighters were like the clinch fighters like Tanadet, and when they start clinching, I actually lost against a Thai fighter in England, and like I said, half of my fights have been against Thai opponents, and I mean, he was clinching me in round 1, 2, and 3. I was smashing him with punches, kicks, elbows, and then he round 4. Oh my god, I've never been clinched like it in my life. Round 4 and 5, he just killed me in the clinch, and he the same thing. It was like he wasn't. I say kills me in the clinch, but he killed me in technical terms.
Yeah, of course.
He was making me do so much work, and he was doing very little. He was just controlling everything I'd done, and that's when I thought. That even then, that was only like maybe 4 years ago. But even then I was like, no, my clinch needs to I have to up the level because against Europeans, I can clinch with them all day. But these guys are different level. They're so strong and so technical.
Yeah, clinching really must be like one of the main parts of the training, like we spend so much time clinching. It's crazy. Like really your forearms, like after you fought a clincher, you get down from the ring and your forearms are killing you. Like I remember, like every time I fight someone that's good in clinch or that we clinch for like a round or 2, like I stay for like a couple of days where my forearms are like stiff, like freaking stiff. Like I'm like, what the hell? Like the rest of the body is fine. Maybe I'm a bit banged up, but the forearms are like rocks. It's like, what the hell is like it's so stiff. Like
it's actually, and it's horrible because people from the outside of Muay Thai would say, like, clinching, it looks like you're having a rest, but mate, it is so hard. It's so hard. But going on to the last kind of point I wanted to touch on was we've talked about your stadium, you getting back into the stadiums and stuff like that. What is your future plans? Because a lot of people now, like I said, are moving on to bigger money fights, the one championships and stuff like that. What is your plans? Is it to stay in the stadiums or what? Yeah, you take me through what your kind of plans are.
Yeah, obviously, like I want to win a belt at the stadiums, like everyone does, obviously. And so yeah, for that, that's my plan for now, and I'm focusing on that. And I've seen all this one championship, all this stuff. It's nice. I've been invited to one of the events in Bangkok. I don't know, like it kind of looks too good to be true a little bit. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe in the future, maybe when I get my title, if I get it, if the opportunity comes and it's good, why not? Maybe I'll try it out. But I don't plan to do Muay Thai for all my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to be one of these guys that's fighting until 40 years old,
Yeah.
So you never know. You never know what's going to happen. For now, my next goal is on a belt. whether it's the Lumpini belt, the Thailand belt, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a really hard goal, so when you have a hard goal in front of you, the only thing you can do is focus everything on it.
Yeah.
So
That's
I'll take it from there. You know what I mean? If I'm satisfied, then maybe I'll hop onto something else. If I'm not satisfied, maybe I'll look for a big contract with some one championship or whatever it will be at the time. You know what I mean? Because these organizations, you never know. Like, they come and go. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
One championship seems like it will stay, but you never know. Like, with all the things we hear, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, and that's good to hear. And just staying on a similar point, but with COVID-19, coronavirus and stuff, what is going on in Thailand? Do you know anything? When is there plans to get back to fighting it? And are you still training and ready to go?
Yeah, I think they say it will start from. At first, I think they already made up a card for Omnoy Stadium on the 20th of this month. Nice. But they still didn't get the confirmation from the government. So I don't know. My say is they'll start maybe early July, maybe like the first week of July, second week of July, like this. I don't think they'll make it on the 20th, but it could be possible. On the 15th, they have the last meeting. And so it's like next Monday, I think they'll have the last meeting and they'll finalize all the dates. And we'll know when we can like all the fights will start again. Obviously it will be like no fans, so only TV. So a lot of the events will be cut off because as you know, not all the events are televised, Yeah. A lot of the big events at Lumpini are like only for not only for gamblers, but they want the people to actually go and watch them. They don't want to put them on TV.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've been training. Obviously, like the last couple of months, I wasn't training a lot. I was training like just to keep myself not becoming 75 kilos. And now I'm starting to train a bit more. Like today, actually, I don't know if you can see that I'm a bit tired because it's the first few days that I'm starting to like trying to pick up the pace a little bit, like trying to get back in shape in case a call comes or whatever.
No, that I appreciate you coming on because I know how it is when you're in Thailand or when you're training. All you want to do is eat.
No worries. I'm happy to come on, and I'm saying that I'm tired, obviously, but I'm not even training like not even 50% of what I do when I have to fight. So I'm tired, but I'm perfectly fine, man. Don't worry. Happy to do it, man. About the room at Pechindi, did you get to go in a room for yourself at the end, or they didn't let you?
Yeah, no, I did in the end. Well, basically it was just before I broke my hand. So me and Savas, we planned to move to an apartment. It was like maybe 5 minutes from the gym. And Savas is actually there now. So we did in the end.
I've seen some stories of him. He looks like he's a nice apartment as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and the good thing about it is he's got his own cooker, oven, and everything. So he can cut weight a lot easier because he knows what he's cooking.
That's the best part.
And he said it's just so. He said that it was the key because I think we were both getting to the point where it gets to that stage where you're sick of it. It's not normal for us, like we said. So and me and him keep in contact a lot, and we both, he said that it's the key for him staying in Thailand and still being happy because now he's a lot happier in the new place. So if I do ever go back to Thailand, I never count it out. I know I'll definitely have to get my own apartment, definitely.
Yeah, I can so relate to that. Like I remember when I was at Sitsompinong and I decided to get my own apartment. Obviously the manager of Sitsompinong, the owner, is half Australian, so I could speak to him as a foreigner, you know what I mean? He understood me. Like even when I first moved to the gym, he was like, no, you shouldn't stay with the fighters. Like, it's not for you. You're a foreigner, you come from a good family. Just take your own apartment. I was like, no, I want to do it. I want to try the experience. And he was like, nah, you won't last a month, he said. And after 6 months, I was like, okay, Tim, you won. I'm getting my own apartment. And then I went to my trainer, which now he's like my second dad, but he's not training me now. He's in Singapore working. And I was like, Ajan, I got my own apartment. And he was like, no, you can't. You're not doing that. And I was like, Ajan, I already paid for it. Oh no, why did you do that? Like, you're not gonna be able to train. You're not gonna come in for the morning session. I was like, look, with no offense, I'm not a Thai fighter. You know what I mean? Yeah. If I'm doing Muay Thai, it's because I want to.
That's it.
It's because I'm not trying to avoid training session or trying to skip the running or something, you know. So if I say I'm going to come to training, I'm going to come to training.
Yeah.
I say, don't worry, I'll be serious just like I was before, and I will be more I will perform better because I'll be able to sleep. I will be able to have my toilet and everything. And it's like, oh, okay, I understand you, Farhan, no problem. You get your own room.
That's it. It's hard to explain to the Thais, but actually, this is a good point to actually end on. Is with the mentality side of things, we talked about when you fought Ronachai with the blood and everything, and you're so motivated. Like it's what we've chose to do this, so it's not something that we've been forced to do. We've chose to go to Thailand and try and make a name for ourselves. So that's what they need to understand is we're not the Thais. So where they want to kind of skip sessions because they've been doing it all their life and they've kind of been forced to do it. A lot of the Thais I actually realized the last few times I've gone is they don't want to do it at all. You can tell their heart's not in it.
They just do it for this.
It's just to feed the families and feed themselves, and which is sad. But I think it helps us. I think it actually helps us mentally, because when I'm fighting a Thai, I can tell if I start hurting the Thai, I know I can finish the Thai. Whereas,
I can relate to that,
if he starts hurting me, I know that this is something I really, really want to do, and I want to be the best at it. And I can find that kind of that desire and kind of get through the tough times. And is that something you feel that you kind of win on as well, the mental side of things?
For sure. Like, honestly, when I first started fighting the Thais, like, obviously when I was young, I thought they were like superhuman, you know what I mean? Because everyone in Europe was like, oh, Thai fighter, oh, come on, he's going to kill you. And then when you actually start fighting them, you realize they're human, you know? And obviously at high level, they are really tough. Like, even if they get hurt, it's hard for them to show. But then, as you said, when they start showing it, you know you have them in your hands, you know what I mean? Like, because the whole philosophy in Thailand, which I totally agree with, it doesn't matter you win, you lose, you know, they say like, it doesn't matter, you know, you have to get the fight done, fight good, make the gamblers happy, make your gym happy, and get money. That's the whole point. So for them to win or lose, it is important, obviously, but it's not as important as it is to us, you know what I mean? Yeah. They can live with themselves after a loss. I don't know you, but me, when I finish a fight and I know I didn't do my best or I lost because of whatever reason, I'm like, I cannot live with myself. Like, I feel like a fucking loser. I feel like shit, you know? But they don't feel that, you know? They just like, okay, whatever, next fight, which is good. Like, I think is a strength for them, you know, to have this. And so as you said, when you're on the ring, you can feel when they don't want it anymore, you can feel it, and then you can take advantage of it.
No, that is very true as well. Like I've only lost maybe twice I think I've lost once for Petchindi, I think, actually in Thailand. And I got head kicked, and it was the time when I was saying that I just didn't really want to be there. The weight cut was terrible. Everything was just shit. And I got beat, and I got head kicked, got up, and then I got dropped again. And I actually had a cut on my ear. I got like 5 stitches. But I remember after, I wasn't in pain or anything, but I was crying like a baby after. And P-Boat was like to me, like, don't worry, stop crying. And I was like, no, but I want to be the best. And I'm crying like a baby. I was only 18, but still, like, he didn't understand, I think, why I was crying, because the Thais fight, and most of them just whatever, it is what it is. It's just a normal day. But for us, I'm the same. I just want to be the best so badly. And when I lose, or I feel like I've embarrassed myself, I feel like you said, a bit like a loser. And it's hard to live with yourself. And it for weeks or months, it really like grinded on me, and I was so annoyed.
It's horrible, especially when you don't get to fight soon after, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can relate to the crying as well. Like, I've had a couple of, like, more than a couple of episodes where, like, I get down from the ring and I just feel like I haven't done what I should have, you know, I haven't done my best. So I'm like, fuck, I trained so hard, I give up all the fun parts of life, I make all the sacrifices in the world to then get on the fucking ring and not perform. Like, and then when I start crying as well, I was like, fuck, like, you know, like, you know.
Then you get annoyed that you're crying, and then everything just. I was the same in my last fight with my hand. My hand was in pain, but I still just didn't think I'd formed well, and I rang my dad, and I'm crying. I couldn't even talk to my dad on the phone. I just kept crying, and then they kept saying you won like in the Thais, and I was like, no, but like you don't understand. It was shit. And I just didn't think it was good. But it is what it is. But Mathias, on that note, thanks a lot for coming on. I'm a massive fan of yours. You're one of my favorite fighters to watch. A big inspiration for me, especially loving the fights in Thailand. So
thank you for, and I appreciate you as well, man. You're a very, very good fighter, man. You've beaten some amazing names.
Cheers, man. Cheers. And I wish you all the luck in the future. And hopefully you get that stadium title. I'm sure you will. So
thank
good
you.
luck.
And I hope you find your way and you realize what you want to do and go and do it.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Nice one, Mathias.